Good morning. Good morning. It is now 6:45 a.m. and today is day 29 out of our 30-day journaling reset challenge. Okay, day 29. One more day to go. Wow. Okay. Wow. All right. So let's get started. As always, I am going to be hosting you with this process. I am Nurse Peju. Today is day 29. And what are we doing here? We're using journaling to help reset and restart our morning. It's a good way to start the day, but we also know that journaling can help with clarity, creativity, and healing. And we know the act of putting the pen to paper is truly what helps us to achieve this goal. So thanks for joining me this morning. I am truly excited. I can't believe it's just one more day. And just setting up this challenge, even for myself, and making sure that I show up for myself too every day is a true win, and I'm really proud of myself. All right, and for those of you that have been joining or following me, thank you. And you too should be proud of yourself, doing something consistently for 30 days in a row at the same time. And you know what, there's always going to be challenges, there's going to be things you don't expect, and I have had those days. But I was so determined to show up, and I'm glad that I did. But I don't want to get distracted about how excited I am. I need to go back to the reason why we're here. And as always, I usually would start with our word of inspiration, and then we will reflect over that so we can so that we can actually get some time to journal. So today, for day 29, remember, I'm using the New Day, New Opportunity journal. It's also a wellness journal. Think of it as a wellness journal. It helps you get ready and just sets the tone. All right. The grass is always greener when it is watered. One more time. The grass is always greener when it is watered. All right. So, this one is quite obvious. It says water your plants or water your grass, whichever one you choose. The thought that came to my mind was, no, Peju, what if there's a drought? And I live in California, and at some point there was a saying that brown is the new green, just because we were so concerned about water. But that's just a particular situation. And in the larger scope of things, we always think that the grass is always greener on the other side of the fence, which is usually not the case. And it just reminds us and just reemphasizes the fact that whatever we nurture, whatever we nurture, whatever we water will likely grow successfully and be fruitful. So let's just use a relationship, for instance. If you have a good relationship with someone and for some reason you stop talking, you stop communicating for a very long time, probability is that that relationship will wither. Or I guess the word I'm using is if you neglect the relationship. Now, that's just a relationship example. So let's use self-development for example. So let's say you stop educating yourself, stop educating, stop making steps that help improve yourself. Eventually, you don't get to improve as you ought to, as in the grand scheme of things. That's one other example. But I think what I'm trying to say this morning is, whatever is important to us, whatever we want to nurture, whatever we want to see grow, whatever areas of our lives, like our spiritual health, our financial well-being, our emotional well-being, what I'm saying is that we have to make the extra effort of actually investing and making sure that whatever it is that we want to grow, we are giving it the sunlight, we're giving it the nutrition, and we're giving it water so that it can grow. And that can mean anything based on what the situation is. So this morning I'm going to encourage you to water your grass so that way your grass can be greener, or water your plant so it can be fruitful. That is the word of the day, and that's the prompt that we're going to be using to journal. So I am going to keep quiet so you can get some time to actually journal. Thank you. All right, our 5 minutes to journal is over. Well, it's completed. So as always, I hope you were able to journal with your pen, your notebook, and more importantly, your open heart. So just a quick reflection again on what we're talking about. We need to water our plant or water our grass. Anything we neglect will wither, but anything we invest in, so whichever areas of our life, whether it's our finances, whether it's our health, whether it's our relationship, for those areas to grow, we must nurture them intentionally. You know, we don't just suddenly appear and arrive like, oh my goodness, you know, you have a hot body. Most people don't wake up and they have a six packs. It's because they actually made an effort to invest in the daily workout, the nutritional regime, those type of things. And if it's relationship with your children, you know, make sure that you're making a deliberate attempt to nurture that appropriately. All right, I'm going to leave it at that. But remember, the true win is the fact that you show up. And on this channel, we strongly believe in progression over perfection. Slow progression is still progression, as long as we are showing up every day is the true win, which is what we believe in. A new day, a new opportunity. So as always, thank you for joining me, and I look forward to seeing you same time again tomorrow. Remember to water your plants or your grass, whatever you do. It is your responsibility and only you can do it best. Until next time, stay blessed. Is Nurse Peju. I hope you have a blessed day. Thank you.